Our next speaker, Carolyn Fowler. Carolyn, you have a microphone handy? Please join us.
Greetings, and thank you so much. Susie, that volunteer, I'm to follow that act.
Ms. Fowler, lean in closer and please be
But
sure
as
to
they
speak up.
say in my community, that part. It's no secret, I know many of you, I play several hats in several roles. Today, though, I am representing the Anti-Gentrification Coalition. It's no secret that COVID-19 created the loss of gains, and it has taken years, it's taken us years to achieve. The loss impacts gender diversity and women and children in particular. As of the latest March report, women of color, 60% in this state, continue to be the hardest hit. 13.4% Latinas, 12.8% Black, and 12.5% Asian American women are unemployed as of March of this year. This same group died at a higher rate due to caregiving and working in service jobs in close quarters, similar living conditions, and slow to get PPE. As I look at this panel, it appears that these are the voices that are missing and must be heard. I think Reverend Sauls talked about that a little earlier. If women who are the crux of this state, that vote the most, that do everything, this critical issue of housing and affordable housing must have the conversation of women of color. I'm not trying to speak for everybody today, but that's true. Why might you ask? Because that is who I see on the streets, unhoused or about to be evicted, women and children of color. And in addition to that, as we talked about earlier, let's not forget about our students, our seniors, our disabled community, and more importantly, this is depressing to me, our veterans. There are roughly 7.1 million Californians living in poverty, while some 58% of the low-income households, as was said earlier, spend more than half their income to remain housed, again, with people of color bearing the greatest part of that, the greatest burden. The fact that the ability to own a home appears to be vanishing right before our eyes. It should be disturbing to everyone in this room. The possibility of the American dream, home ownership, the last opportunity to build generational wealth, should be dying on the floor of the Capitol and the Congress as well. That should happen is unacceptable. Yet we are being conditioned to accept this premise. There are articles being written like America should become a nation of renters by Carl Smith. This exists. I'm asking that you reject that philosophy and skepticism. Do not let the ability to own a home be stolen from the next generation. My own family owns a block, formerly single-family homes, is being deluged with multi-units. No additional parking, and the owners are offered money from Wall Street buyers who can compete with them. And the rental rates for those units, by the way, are $2,700 to $3,000 a month. This is in Mid-Wilshire. Eliminating single-family zoning is not the answer to the prayer. Affordable housing is a multidimensional complex problem, and there is no one-size-fits-all solution, which we, the public, keep getting as proposals, SB 9 and 10. The fact is your grown children, nor your parents, want to live with you. And I suspect you don't want to live with them either. So, since that feeling is mutual, the question is, what will you do as elected and community leaders to carve a different path to secure housing for all the people I have mentioned? We need to hear more discussion on community land trusts, nonprofit affordable housing, public banking coming from policymakers. Even at LAUSD, the second largest school district, has built and is exploring utilization of more of their own property to build housing for employees. Smart green building is possible with materials that are fireproof, earthquake-proof, and cheaper. We need to partner with our building and trades to further achieve our Green New Deal goals. I believe just the brainpower on this panel alone could come up with a path to home ownership for this state. It's a challenge I hope you're willing to accept. The state, counties, and cities have land like the community school model. Local communities want to have a say in how that housing supports their specific community needs. Low-rise multifamily units and mixed-use developments have their place. But when single-family homeowners purchase based on the community that they were in, shown with yards for their children to play, it's their expectation that this will remain that way. And that's not an unreasonable expectation. So, in closing, because I know there needs to be more questions, and in honor of Black Music Month, I thought of a song appropriate for the moment. I hope you will go listen to it if you don't know it. It's by the incomparable Whitney Houston. It's called I Look to You. She's referring to a higher power, but you elected and community leaders are all we have. So we look to you, a path to home ownership. We look to you. I look to you. Thank you.